Hi everybody, my name is Gates Bryan and I'm a member of the TYL team. In today's video, we'll be discussing design and how to determine your personal design style. This is by no means a masterclass in architecture, but we will be doing a brief synopsis of 12 different design styles so that you can really understand those styles and communicate your likes and dislikes to your designer and then learn to mix and match your own personal style. I'm excited to get started, but before we jump in, I just wanted to take a brief second and tell you a little bit more about TYL Inc. TYL is your local expert in all things construction. We're a general contractor located out of Ruther Glen, Virginia, and we service the I-95 Beltway from Central Virginia to Southern Maryland. We have a wide array of services to best suit our clients' needs, and these include multifamily contracting, insurance restoration, commercial construction, and of course, home remodeling. And last thing before we jump in, I promise. Everything that we mentioned in today's video, you can also find on the TYL Pinterest page, which will be linked in the description below. We've separated each of our boards by design style and then again by project, and we've also included a brief description of each design style in the bio of each board. So I hope you find that useful. And now, without further ado, let's jump on in. The first design style that we're going to be looking at is modern design. It's a really original and unique style that originated in the 1930s and 40s and pulls inspiration from German and Scandinavian minimalist design. It evokes a feeling of sleek and sexy. Lines are usually very clean and there's almost no embellishment nor color in a modern space. You're going to instead see a lot of neutral tones that are used to really enhance the natural materials and shapes that are already present in modern design. You can take a look at a lot of these. You're not going to see a ton of color, but you are going to see these natural materials really get a chance to shine. Next up is industrial design. Industrial design pulls its inspiration from factories of the earliest 20th century. Think converted mill building or trendy loft today. You're going to see lots of elements of modern design in an industrial space, but it's mixed in with a lot of raw and unfinished materials. Think exposed brick, exposed pipe, loose wires, cement, anything that's going to give it that really gritty feeling. And you're also going to see a lot of antique or retro elements thrown in there as well. And you can take, for example, the Edison bulb as a great example of industrial design incorporated into spaces today. The Edison bulb, as you can see up here, runs rampant in kitchen design today. And if you take a look at some of these examples, you can really see how that modern design introduced and then mixed with that really gritty rawness of industrial design plays beautifully together. Our next design also plays heavily off of raw materials, but in a completely different way. We're talking rustic design. Rustic design is a broad term that you can use in many different design styles, but in general, it's the use of aged, rough, and gritty materials on a neutral backdrop. You're going to see a lot of raw wood, unpolished stone, and anvil products, which are all popular in rustic spaces. Take a few examples here. Of course, you can see the inspiration from log cabins, cottages in the woods. All of these places are going to be heavily influenced by rustic design. And in general, it just gives this warm yet lumberjacky feeling, if you will. Another design style that also incorporates rustic elements is farmhouse design, and farmhouse is all the rage lately. Farmhouse style is usually characterized by warm and inviting spaces that are filled with functional yet traditional pieces. Color palettes are often very warm, incorporating creams and yellows and other soft tones, and accents include raw metals, wood, and there are usually some black accents in farmhouse design to help offset the femininity of usually some softer, warmer color palettes. Next up on our docket is cottage design, which is very similar to farmhouse design, but cottage design adds a little bit of touch of whimsy, romance, and femininity. Where farmhouse is fairly utilitarian and traditional, Cottage Design adds embellishment, often in the form of florals, latticework, and pastel colors. You can see here some examples of the farmhouse elements in there. You've got the raw woods, you've got a little bit of that country element, but it's definitely romanticized by using these soft colors and adding a little bit of floral into the design. Staying on track with embellishment, we are going to talk about the kingpin of embellishment and drama, French design. In French design, you're going to see soft and creamy color palettes that are heightened with lavish carvings and moldings and lots of gold accents. Flooring and go-tos in French design include warm tiles and woods, and light fixtures regularly make use of crystals and faux candles to really drive home that ornate feeling. You can really see here how the use of those creams with those golds and all of those flares and frills really just gives that je ne sais quoi of French design. Next up, we're going to talk about one of my personal favorite design styles, which is Victorian design. Victorian design combines the ornate nature of French design with dark color palettes and heavy woods. It's a really dramatic and moody style, and it originates, as the name suggests, in the late 19th century, specifically the Victorian era. It exudes opulence through high ceilings, detailed flooring, weatherwood or tile, and uses a lot of brass accents and antique appliances. It's one of my favorites just because it is so dramatic and over the top, which I absolutely love. And you can see some examples here. You can see the high ceilings, the heavy woods, the beautiful craftsmanship in a lot of these spaces. Shortly after the Victorian era came the Craftsman style home, which were extremely popular through the 1930s. With Craftsman design, quality is king. In a traditional Craftsman home, you'll notice many rich woods and strong columns that are then complemented by earthy tones and a lot of natural light. If you're not a fan of dark woods, that's totally fine. Craftsman may still be for you. Modern Craftsman homes use bright whites and then pops of color for a 21st century spin on traditional Craftsman design. You can take a look here. Here's an example of traditional Craftsman design with some of those heavier woods and those darker colors, but those ornate, rich fixtures still. And then here is modern Craftsman. You can notice a little bit more white, gray. It's going to be a lighter color palette. So a lot of the design styles that we've been talking about up to this point are fairly dark styles. So are we ready for something a little bit more colorful? Let's talk Mediterranean design. Mediterranean design gets its influences from Spanish, Italian, and Southern French architecture. You're going to see a lot of colorful decorative tile, aged stone, warm tiling, terracotta, rustic wood, rustic metals. Any of these things are going to be crucial to a Mediterranean space. Also, there is a very popular notion in Mediterranean design of marrying the indoor and the outdoor. So to do this, Mediterranean design uses lots of windows, skylights, an open floor plan, and often you will see in Mediterranean spaces walkout patios or indoor-outdoor living. All of this combines to create a warm and inviting and vibrant space that's really full of life. Sticking by the sea, let's talk about coastal design. Where Mediterranean design incorporates lots of color, emulating the vibrant culture of Spain and Italy, coastal design is all about creating a relaxed and beachy atmosphere. To achieve this easygoing feel, coastal design uses soft, cool tones, and you might notice lots of wicker, driftwood, seagrass, and matte finishes in the space. So take a look at some things here. You can see there's lots of whites, lots of blues, lots of uses of natural materials that are found near the ocean, which is really what sets apart the use of natural fibers in coastal design from any other design style, because coastal design only pulls from natural materials that are found around the ocean. Also, a big fan of natural fibers and materials is Boho Design. Boho stands for Bohemian, and it strives to emulate the wanderer or world traveler ideals. Boho spaces are usually very light and airy with minimalist cabinetry and decor. They're also often filled with earth tones and accentuated by small pops of color, which are usually in jewel tones. And there's also a lot of different natural textures. So here you can see some examples of boho spaces, those beautiful greens and blues that are really common in these types of spaces, but then it's all kind of relaxed and toned down by that minimalist design style as well. So we've gone through 11 of our 12 design styles, and if you still don't know what's for you, that's totally okay. But do you like a little bit of everything on this list? Then our next design might be for you. Eclectic Design draws inspiration from multiple different time periods and often follows the principles of maximalism, where more is better. More visual stimulation is chef's kiss, better. So in eclectic spaces, you're often going to find lots of texture, pattern, art, and bright colors. It's a really hodgepodge design style where basically anything goes, which just gives your space this really upbeat yet casual feeling. Here's some examples of eclectic design, and you can see that these designers here have not shied away from things like wallpaper with art on top or different colored cabinetry. Really, the sky's the limit with eclectic design. And there you have it, 12 different design styles for your home. Now that you know a little bit more about design, a great next step is to visit the TYL Pinterest page, which is linked in the description below, and explore. Once you find some styles that work for you, don't be afraid to mix and match and put your own spin on it. Add some industrial elements to your farmhouse kitchen, or add some pops of color to your modern bathroom. Remember, the design rules are meant to be broken, so find what works for you. And don't be afraid to break the rules. I hope that you found this video helpful and informative as you enter into your next project in your home. And if you live in the Virginia area, make sure to give us a call about your next remodel. For our number, social medias, and email, check the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!